2023. And before we have the invocation by Chaplain Stephen Pereira and Pledge of Allegiance by Vice Chairman Bill Winters, I'd like to welcome Industrial Development Board Doug Berry and Education Susan Wilcutt. And thank you very much for attending. If we, at this point, we'll have the invocation, sir. And then the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I want to put a special blessing on our new mayor here. I don't think I've seen a smile that big in a long time. Psalm 33 says, starting in verse 18, "Behold, the eye of the Lord is on those who fear him, on those who hope in his mercy, to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. Our soul waits for the Lord, and he is our help and our shield. And for our hearts we shall rejoice in him, because he has trusted in his holy name. Let your mercy, O Lord, be upon us, just as we hope in you. Lord, may your grace and mercy be present in this chamber today. Give wisdom to these, your commissioners, to perform their task to the benefit of those they serve. May peace and comfort come with every decision handed down, and most of all, let thy will be done. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Stand. Pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. I forgot to mention that the chaplain is to know the chaplain, and I'm sorry I forgot, sir. At this time, we'll go to the report from the mayor, Mayor Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. She's got a big smile because she doesn't know yet what she's getting into. But I would like to introduce to you our mayor for the day, Parker Sneed. She's a second grader at Michigan Avenue Elementary School. Her mom's here with us, Candace Natola. So if you would give her a warm welcome, and then she has a few promises she'd like to make. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Parker Sneed. I am a second grader at Michigan Avenue Elementary School, and I am mayor for the day. I would like to report that I have visited with many of the county departments this morning at the Annex building and the courthouse. It appears that the county is in good standing. Therefore, I recommend giving employees the day off Friday with pay so they can have a very long holiday weekend. Mr. Chairman, that's all I have at this time.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank you, Parker. So Juneteenth wasn't enough. Now you get Friday and Monday off. And that's why she's smiling a little bit still. You pass out those resolutions. There's a resolution I would like for someone to put on the agenda for next week. It's actually a correction. The resolution, one of them that you approved last week had the wrong amounts in it. When I went to sign the contract, it didn't match the resolution. So this is a correction that needs to be put back on there for next week. Someone would.
Mayor, is this the probation?
Yes.
All right, it's on the. Yes.
Okay. Did you get it on there?
I won't be here next week. Cindy's gonna take care
Okay,
of it.
Cindy will. Okay, your septic report. Got me all out of whack back here. We'll skip the septic report and, the cannery. I wanted to announce that a lot of people have been asking about the cannery. I didn't check this morning, but it was supposed to open today, and their hours will be 8 to 2 Monday through Friday. If anyone asks you, that should be correct. That's the latest I've heard. And if you pass out the books, we have a new book, and we tried this last year, and a lot of people didn't have them. But if you would give me your old book, lay it up on top, and let's swap so we can recycle them for you. If you took them home to read while you're watching TV, that's okay too. You can recycle them. But this is the newest version, and the difference in them is this one says finances proposal. This is the budget that you will actually adopt, except for any changes made on the 20th. There's one more day that will allow for changes, and that will be on the 20th when we have appeals. But except for that, this will be the final version.
Thank you.
And I can tell you now, if we find something wrong in this one, we'll take care of it as an amendment once the new budget's adopted, because we're at that point. Next week, we don't meet till Tuesday because of that extra holiday. And Friday, there's no local newspaper anymore, so we got squeezed. So Tuesday, you will hear appeals. Hopefully, there's very few, if any, changes because it's got to go to the newspaper that very day. So, in order to meet the 10-day deadline before you vote on the budget, so that's what we'll be doing next Tuesday. Any questions about any of that? Yes, sir.
The road department, is the budget change on the budget in the new paper we just had?
Right. This one has. If you recall last week when I did the budget proposal, I said it did not have raises in there for the road department. It was another one of those we had to do some more work on, and so it's in there. It's got the correct fund balance or the correct projected fund balance, and it also has the 3% raises. Yes, ma'am.
Mayor, do you know of anyone coming to appeal at this time?
No, in their defense, most people don't even know until after the finances recommendations. Then we send them, here's your proposed budget. If you'd like to appeal it, you can come on the 20th. That probably goes out today or tomorrow. Other questions? If not, thank you. I appreciate it. And that's all I have. I did have a septic report somewhere, but I don't know what I did with it.
Right here.
You got one? If you've already seen it, go ahead. The main thing on there is in 1 week's time, we have committed almost all the money you gave us extra, that we started doing in-house last week. You approved that program, $165,000. I think we've already spent about $140. Is that what that says on there?
116.
Yep. So we're running out of it fast.
48 remaining.
Another 48,000 to go, which means we'll probably get that committed this next week. Now, it's going to be a while. I talked to a guy this morning, and he can't get his contractor to show up now. It's going to be a while in getting it paid out, but we have committed most of the money in that first week. There's no other questions. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Now we'll go to reports from committees and our districts. We'll start on our right with Commissioner Beatty, please.
Everything looks pretty well, first district.
All right, Commissioner Hughes. Commissioner Hughes, please.
Mr. Chairman, I have nothing to report today.
Great. Commissioner Alford.
Yes, second district's doing well. Just want to remind everybody that the drag strip behind the airport is up and running again. Looking good. A lot of drag strip marks all up and down the road. So sooner or later, somebody's going to stop it or get killed on there.
That all, sir?
That's it. Thank you.
All right, Commissioner Blake, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A few things, if you'll bear with me. I have a flyer here that perhaps some of you have already seen. Mr. Chairman, Voluntary Energy Cooperative just put out 300 of these door placements in the Tasso community announcing the availability of high-speed internet. That is something we have been waiting on at least 3 years, maybe even more. So Those people who have this, when they get home and they see this hanging on the door, can start ordering high-speed internet. When I talked to the gentleman from VEC, we went over some of the technical pieces of it, but I will tell you, this is going to be 2 gigabytes for all of us fellow nerds. That's a lot of data going through the bandwidth. It's more than what I get on coaxial. If you live in the footprint east of Michigan Avenue and Dry Valley Road, you may scan the QR code on the door placement or call the number on the back and request from Twin Lakes. Remember, VEC is basically providing the infrastructure, all of the stuff you can touch. That Twin Lakes is going to be providing the service. So you'll be working with Twin Lakes on getting your account set up, and if you forget your password and all that kind of stuff. But VEC is doing the infrastructure. This project, like as I said, is a cooperation between Volunteer Energy Corporate, Twin Lakes, the state of Tennessee, and Bradley County. I'm excited. I'm sure you guys as well. We've heard about broadband, and the other part of the conversation I had with the gentleman from VEC is the other projects that are going on. And one specifically that we talked about was, if you'll remember back, we chatted about what we wanted to do with the rest of the money in the broadband bucket for the federal money. We decided to see if the state was going to do any more programs, because more bang for the buck. We only had to put 10% in. VEC put 10% in, and the state funded 80% of it. We wanted that again, but apparently, unless you heard different, the states kind of dragged their feet on that for this particular year. But once we get to the point where we have to have the money appropriated, then the 50-50 deal is on the table, which we agreed to in principle back, I think, last fall. But good things are happening, and this is also other county. Our friends in Polk County also are getting these, and McMahon County stuff as well. So exciting news on the broadband front, and our goal is to get, and what they set up at the County Commission Association is Congress has actually put in $42 billion in another package, and the state of Tennessee is going to get a minimum of $100 million. Every state's going to get a minimum of $100 million, and then they're going to add on to that. So the goal is to get everybody ability to access to high-speed internet. So I just want to report that to you, Mr. Chairman, and look forward to the next progress report. Next, Mr. Chairman, we have a few things. Finance met last week to go over the mayor's proposal, and today we finished up with the true-ups. Let's see, I need to put some things on the agenda for next week. The first one, I guess, is going to be the end of the year budget amendments that finance just took up. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to place this on the June 20th voting session.
Done.
So those have to be approved next week. We also, this is just a FYI, in your budget, the quote-unquote error on page 145 in the mayor's budget, you may have noticed that account Fund 151, account 58400, line 301, should be 2,500 rather than 25,000. That was just a typo. The rest of them are recommendations from the Finance Committee, which are included in this budget proposal that was just handed out, and that will be voted on July 3rd. I believe that's it. Is that it? Okay. Make sure I get everything. Last, Mr. Chairman, speaking of July 3rd, I apologize. I will not be here next week. I have a business trip I have to take. Some of us have other jobs. But thinking about this particular year, July 4th is going to be on a Tuesday. We'll have to come in here and vote according to the budget calendar on July 3rd. That's normally a night that starts at 7 p.m. With the 4th being on the Tuesday, I can only imagine that a lot of people would like to get their 4th of July started a little bit earlier. So the idea of moving the July 3rd voting session to noon, kind of like today, has been proposed. But
Since I won't be here, I won't be able to put it on the agenda, but I would support that if I was here, just to put that.
Does anyone want to put on the agenda to move from 7 p.m. to 12 noon, the voting agenda on the 3rd? Commissioner Slater will put it on the agenda. We'll vote on it.
Then we'll be able to get our 4th of July and celebrate our independence a little bit earlier. Other than that, I think that's all I have, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. All's well on the 3rd.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Collins, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. All's well on the 3rd. I want to say thank you to our mayor for the day. Awesome job on the mayor, the report from the mayor. You did fantastic. So thank you for being here today. Would love to get you signed up to be a commissioner for a day and come represent the 3rd. You could probably do the job that Mylon and I are doing. So you did awesome, Parker. Also want to say thank you to our sheriff's department. They facilitated a training op last Wednesday, I believe, with the school system at the Pike Center, and did a phenomenal job. I'm very appreciative of that department and the insight that they have into making things better and safe for our students and our staff. So I'm very appreciative of them. I believe Grant was there for that as well. So that was an excellent training exercise for them, and I appreciate the sheriff and his team and Officer Jamie Thurman, the head of our SROs, and all that they do. Other than that, that's it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Winters, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Congratulations to our new mayor. I hope your smile is contagious for all of us as we go to our future this year. The construction's moving really well on 60 Highway by Cleveland Middle School. You can actually see the streets coming up. The movement is very good in that particular area. We've had the passing of some very important people. One is Dennis Epperson's father. Dennis is a former 1st District Commissioner and very close to his father, and just prior to Father's Day has lost his father. Jim Sigliano is a legend at Cleveland State, a great coach, great man, has a super family, and they're grieving today in his loss, and I think we as a community, he in his unique way made Cleveland State what it is today. People want to be at Cleveland State because Jim Sigliano was there. We'll miss him. Lee is a great young leader in our community, and we grieve with that family today. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Gilbert, please.
First of all, congratulations, Mayor, on your new spot. You look awful good over there, smiling. I'd like to say thank you to Commissioner Rogers. Josh, thank you for mentioning the young man, Amos Blazer. Today we was able to take pictures with him, and it was amazing. He had such a good time, and the guys was there. Tim Mason, head chair of the road department, me and Howard in our district at Oak Grove School. Young man, they actually allowed him to get up and ride on the back of this sprayer. And man, you talking about lighting that boy's world up. He was doing good. But they allowed him to get on there and stripe some roads. And just thank you for bringing that up. And that would be all that I have for this moment.
All right. Thank you. Commissioner Thompson, please.
Just want to say congratulations to our new mayor, and think about that pay raise, would you? But anyway, I just like to add what Scott said, Amos Blazer this morning, and what happened out there, him and his mother. It was amazing. He's a young man with a lot of ambition, and sure done. He was proud of what he was doing this morning, and I'm sure that it meant a lot to him. I'm just glad that we were part of it. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Commissioner Goins. Thank you. Commissioner Slater.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for being here today, Parker, as our mayor. And if you remember, a couple of months ago, Parker's brother, Nolan, was our superintendent for the day. So it runs in the family. And they live in the 3rd District, Commissioner Collins and Commissioner Blake.
You better be careful.
So last week, Bradley County Schools announced that its third grade students recorded exceptional scores on the recently released ELA TCAP data. According to the information released by the Tennessee Department of Education, the third grade students of Bradley County Schools performed in the top 20% of the state in English language arts. Bradley County ranks 27th of 142 Tennessee districts regarding third grade ELA scores. 93% of third grade students meet the state guidelines for advancement into the fourth grade based on proficiency levels, exemptions, and appeal criteria. The results are a testament to the hard work and dedication of Bradley County teachers, administrators, students, and the families of those students. So I just wanted to share that today. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Mason.
I guess I'll have to say thank you to our new mayor, too, for a pretty smile today. Parker, thank you. You did a good job. I'd like to thank Mayor Davis and this commission for getting the $500,000 to the road department. I think your districts are going to be real representative with all the good work the road department does. I think Superintendent Collins is doing a fabulous job, and his men and women over there. So I'd like to say thank you to them, and all's well in the 6th District. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Ledford, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Parker, thank you for being the mayor for a day. It's a tough job. Mayor Davis has a tough job, and I'm sure you know that, but we appreciate you doing what you do. I'd like to just mention First Street Square has the Friday Night Festival. If you haven't been, it's a good thing to go to. And talking about the mayor, I'd like to thank the mayor again and his staff for balancing this budget, taking the work off of the commission, and just doing a fabulous job. For all these years that I've watched you do it, Gary, it's always been balanced every year without the risk of a tax increase to go diligently with the taxpayers' dollar. So I thank you for that, and 6th District is doing well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Rogers, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Parker, thank you so much for being here with us today. I have daughters that are around your age, and I know that you got to learn a lot today about what county government does and get to see all the different people and elected officials. And so we hope that you had a wonderful time here in county government today. So thank you so much for being here. Mr. Chairman, I have nothing to report today other than to agree with Commissioner Winters that 60 Highway is looking good. I spent the last week out of town and come back this week, and it's already starting to look a little bit different. So in 1 week, so it's a good thing for our community in the 7th District. But that's all I have today.
Thank you very much. Parker, on behalf of myself and the commission, I'd like to thank you for doing a great job as the new mayor. It's unfortunate that we can't take your vibrant smile and beautiful face and transfer it over to our other mayor. But you're doing a great job, and thank you very much. We really enjoyed having you here. I don't know about that brother of yours, but we the agenda items. Agenda item A, Commissioner Blake.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We can always Photoshop that smile if you want.
That'd be great.
Mr. Chairman, today we're going to have some updates. As you know, one of the first things that we funded with the federal money was projects, and we've been getting some updates today. We're going to get an update from 3 of those. So if you would recognize the director from Bradley Cleveland Community Service, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You're recognized. He's not here.
He was sitting in the back.
Well. We'll go to.
Yeah, we'll come back to him.
Well, if he shows up, we'll go back to him.
Next on the list is our friends over at Family Promise. If you'll recognize her, I'd appreciate it.
Please, you're recognized, ma'am.
Hello, everyone. My name is Eva Van Hook. I'm the Executive Director of Family Promise of Bradley County. Last March, you all awarded us right under $50,000. It was $48,375 from the ARPA funds that were released federally. These funds went to help with families that were either struggling with homelessness actively or we were preventing homelessness from happening altogether. So we had two different programs working. As a total, we were able to assist 44 families in our prevention program, keeping 96 children in their home. This is the most cost-effective way to deal with homelessness, is to prevent it from happening altogether. So with that group of people, 6 months later, 80% of them are still in their home, so that program works. With our shelter program, we assisted 5 families with a total of 1,840 bed nights. There were 7 children involved in those. 2 of those families graduated. One of them was excused for throwing parties in the hotel room. And then we are currently working on the last family. They are scheduled to get out the week following July 4th. And so this could not have happened without your assistance. We are very grateful for everything that you've done. Hopefully you received my report. I'll just briefly talk about Stacy, who you all helped. She was in our shelter program before. Graduated, got into her home, life happened. She had surgery and was not able to pay her rent. So you all helped keep them in their home. Since then, she went back to get her GED. She's graduated with her GED. She is looking into getting better employment, and she has also applied for Habitat for Humanity. So we're really hoping that application comes through, because then we can do a full circle. So you all had a direct hand in making that happen, and we're very grateful.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, we'll go back to item A if you don't mind. I believe the director is here to give us an update on the Bradley Cleveland Community Service.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, and you fine, distinguished public servants of our beautiful county. It's a privilege to be with you this afternoon to speak on behalf of Bradley Cleveland Community Services Agency and the Cleveland Emergency Shelter. I wished I could stand before you and give a beautiful update like our partner from Family Promise. We are much further behind in the expending of the dollars that you have allocated to us. We have been working with Southeast Tennessee Development District, and we're grateful for our partnership with them. But we had to go back to square one with our plans to renovate our shelter annex, which is located directly behind the shelter. Unfortunately, the plans that we were hoping to use were not up or did not meet city code. And so Southeast Tennessee Development District has been working with us to identify an architect and engineer who can enable us to move forward. So we have, as of today, just received a proposal from Studio 323 with an architect by the name of Jessica Aubert. And I'm going to share the proposal with you for your reading today. The project is scheduled to begin with Ms. Aubert on June 19th, a week from today. And hopefully, once we're able to move past this piece of the project, we will move forward with rebidding and then renovating our annex so that we can assist more homeless individuals and families. I will share with you that this is a great need because a significant number of the clients that we are encountering or engaging at the shelter are disabled persons. And because there are a limited number of beds within our facility, number one, on the lower level, we're limited in the number of disabled persons we can serve. Individuals are not able to climb stairs and are not able to access the top bunk. So we desperately need this project and appreciate your trust in us to be able to make this a reality. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you have.
What is the anticipated time to complete all of these projects that we're talking about? Because this is ARP money, and we have constraints on the time frame that we have it, or we have to give it back.
Yeah, we are, now that we have identified an architect, you know, my conversations with Southeast Tennessee Development District was that we foresee no issues in being able to move forward pretty quickly. So we're hoping 6 months, but, you know, all that is contingent upon being able to then go to bid and find contractors. So it's really, I wish I could give a concrete answer, but I'm not able to do that
I
at this time.
wasn't expecting a concrete answer. I just wanted to make sure you were aware that we have constraints on this money.
Yes, sir.
It'd be sad that you got 3/4 of the way through and then we had to give it back.
Yeah, trust me, I understand.
Okay. Other comments? Yes, sir. Commissioner Rogers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You said that you're delayed in the process because the plans that you had that didn't meet city code. Did you also apply for ARP money through the city of Cleveland as well?
Correct.
And they approved that before, did they approve that before you found out that your plans didn't meet city code?
Correct. And our approval of funds through the city was much more delayed than with the county.
What was the issue, the reason why it didn't meet code?
Electrical and structural did not include sprinklers.
Okay. My next question is how many people do you guys serve on a weekly basis?
On a weekly basis, depends on which way. Residents,
yeah.
Residents around 30, 35. But then we also serve non-residents with food, hygiene kits, and all kinds of other things.
Over the last year, have you seen a very high increase in the number of people that you serve on a daily, weekly basis?
We have, but that the number of clients that we are able to serve consistently through obtaining permanent housing has decreased, and there is a direct correlation between with the opioid crisis and mental health. Unfortunately, we are not able to case manage and house some of our clients as long as we would like to because of those issues.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Winters and then Commissioner Blake.
Demetrius Ramsey, we appreciate you being here. You've been in this program a long time.
I have.
And,
thank you.
Appreciate your work. Question I have, much of the shelters challenge is people getting there. We see some that how they get there. Is there transportation services a way where somebody on the street, if they just don't know that there's, how can they get there? We say it was on Wildwood. We'll pass that on. Is there any way that this subway, this system that we've got these, these vans that go around, but a way that they could call or go to a place and someone could call it. They need a ride to get to you. I'm not trying to add more people to you because you got a challenge as it is. But within that, it seems to me that getting to, I've had one guy stopped me on the street and I chatted with him, and he just didn't know where to get anywhere. Of course, he was also challenged with his own brain and all, trying to make things work. So, but within that came up, how do I get him from A to B to C to get to the service that you have as well as others? Is there some movement to help folks get off of that street to your services and other services you provide?
So,
are you hearing of anything? I guess is what I'm asking.
Yeah. So let me just begin by saying that we have struggled with being able to maintain staff to be able to meet some of those needs, as some of our partners have.
Right.
Yet, we do have shuttle service, and that is contingent upon having manpower at the times that a person may need assistance. Right. We've used our shuttle service to transport individuals to appointments, whether it's medical appointments or job interviews, or to take a look at potential housing opportunities, make housing applications and things. But, you know, I wished I could stand before you and say that we're able to offer that around the clock, and we're just not, have not been able to up to this point. And then I would also add that we also offer or issue bus passes for our local transportation system so that persons can, you know, access transportation through Cleveland Urban Area Transit or CETHRA.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
very
you.
much. Commissioner Blake, then Commissioner Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I assume, hopefully, that you haven't received any money because we still have 100,000 in the budget we're getting ready to pass. So you haven't spent any money.
Correct.
And also you haven't spent any city money.
Correct.
This package is both is a quote unquote 100,000 from county and 100,000 from the city.
Correct.
So no money's been spent whatsoever.
Correct.
So Chairman Cry was mentioning there is some time concerns on here. And even though I think by memory, which I shouldn't do, it's September 1 of 2024 that we have to have everything appropriated. For you, it's going to be a little bit earlier. So I guess this is more of a statement. You're going to need to get all your stuff done. That project can go up to 2026, but if this is not going to happen because of the budget concerns, we're going to have to do it. Because right now we're in the budget process, and if it goes further, we'll do it again. The next thing I guess is the 100,000 that we put in there, and the 100,000 that the city put in there, and now you're, as you said, starting from scratch again. Does 200,000 get this project done as you presented it a year and a half ago?
I'm hoping.
In other words, because the cost has gone up.
Correct.
I mean, every budget we've seen as far as utilities, you name it, has gone up, and I can only imagine you're not immune from that.
Correct.
So 200,000 is still going to get this project done 100%.
So in the original proposal, we were not only looking for the funds to cover rebuild, the construction, the renovation, but then also purchasing the equipment that would go in each room, the bedding, all the furniture and things. If the funds we did not have enough to complete the construction, we would look at alternative means to get the bedding and things. So trust me, we will do what it takes to make this a reality.
Okay. Well, hopefully, I mean, what's your time frame now? I mean, what's your next milestone in your project? I mean, you mentioned bid a few seconds ago, and
yeah,
I think we need to have more conversations over the next year.
Okay.
As far as not micromanaging and all that, but just as we work with the city, getting you what you need.
My response to that would be, I think it would be probably appropriate for myself, along with my partners at Southeast Tennessee Development District, for us, if we could, meet with you to help make sure we're all on the same page about the time frames.
Well, I understand Commissioner Thompson is on your board or chairs the board, right?
Correct.
Right. So, I mean, you can use him as a gateway or whatever. But,
Okay.
I just I'm tad concerned that we're this far along and you're having to, as you say, start scratch again.
Okay.
All right. That's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Commissioner Thompson, please.
Demetrius, we're glad you're here this morning. I know construction right now is way behind, and I'm sure that's a problem. There's one thing that we need to look forward to, and that's homeless, the growth of homeless. And as Chattanooga grows, we grow. And they don't like to talk about this, but as the border opens, well, we grow. And it's going to happen. I mean, it's just reality, you know. So this is what they're going to do with this $200,000 is not, it's going to help, but it's not nearly going to take care of what's fixing to take place here in Bradley County, in the city of Cleveland, when it comes to homeless. And you can go down the Greenway, you can go anywhere, and you've got homeless everywhere. and you've got it in Chattanooga the same way. And we've got problems there, and this is something that we need to look into. I don't know if we're going to have to find a place that will house more homeless or what we're going to have to do, but this is something that we need to look to in the future. And it's going to take revenue to do that, and maybe some grants and whatever, but we've got a problem, and we're going to have to be the one to help solve it along with the city of Cleveland. Thank you.
Anyone else? Commissioner Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just out of curiosity, I noticed going down Wildwood that y'all are building something there. What is that? Is it a picnic area or a pergola of some sort?
It's an awning, so that when it's raining, clients can have a covering and won't have to sit out in inclement, the rain. Yeah.
I go by that or go down that road every day and come home every day that way. And I just noticed lots of people standing on the sidewalk and down at the fence area, whatever. And I did kind of got a little warm feeling there that was what that was for, to keep them out of the sunshine and the heat, whatever, and the rain, of course, when it's raining, because it's not a very good feeling when you go by there and it's pouring down the rain and, they're standing out there getting soaking wet, whether it be an older gentleman, an older lady, or the younger people. We see all genres of people standing there, or at least I do, because I do travel that road every single day, and you see young and old. So, but thank you for your efforts.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I would just add that beginning March 2020, our agency received a significant amount of COVID-related funding that enabled us to operate at the shelter 24 hours a day. And as those monies were spent down, so did our operational hours change. We had to switch from 24 hours a day to 20 hours a day. So there's 4 hours a day where we're not in operation, and the awning is to protect those individuals during that 4-hour time frame. We were closing at 8 a.m., 12 p.m., and then reopening at 4 p.m. because that was the warmest part of the day. But now that we are in heat, we are closed in the early part of the day and open back up at 12.
Commissioner Rogers, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just real quickly, Demetrius, I know homelessness is a national issue. It's a local issue, but really it is a national issue. This happens in cities all across the country, and really every city. Are you seeing more transient people coming to our city, or are these people that that you see here constantly? That there are people who live here. They're from Bradley County and they've become homeless, or are we seeing an influx of people from out of state or out of the cities? And I know, speaking on what Commissioner Thompson was saying, Chattanooga is trying to move a lot of their homelessness, or their homeless people and the issues more up the interstate out of downtown and moving to near the Silverdale area. They've bought facilities down there where that's where people are going to be housed now. And is that becoming an issue for you guys, where you guys are seeing a bigger inflow? And then I have a second follow-up to that.
Commissioner Rogers, I spent a good deal of time speaking on this issue at our last board meeting to our board, and absolutely we are seeing an influx, or have been seeing an influx of homeless persons from not only other parts of the region, but other parts of the country. We've seen clients come from as far as Rhode Island, New Hampshire. Because of that, and because of our inability to address issues related to the opioid crisis, mental health, in addition to not being able to have capacity to serve all that we could, we humbly requested to limit our scope. We were asking, or now only serving persons within our region, homeless persons within our region, rather than serving whosoever will come. Before a client, it was first come, first serve. and, you know, regardless of what parts of the state, we do know that clients call our shelter and find out about our shelter because of Google and our Google rating. Our shelter is unlike many others because we assign a room and clients are able to leave their belongings within that room for the duration of their stay with our program. A lot of other shelters, they don't have that capability. You must carry your belongings with you each day. And so yes, absolutely. We were dealing with that issue, but we think we have fixed it with the help of our board of directors.
And I know, to follow up, you have the heart, and your people have the heart that you want to be able to serve everyone, because they're all God's children and they all deserve dignity and service. And I'm thankful that I get to work in my personal life with a lot of great businesses, a lot of great different people in this community. I'd love to get with you and see if there is something that, this is an issue that we've talked about, and I'm looking at Mike back there, that we've talked at chamber meetings about for many, many months. And I think that there are a lot of businesses in this community that want to help and be a part of that and be able to be change makers in our community. I don't always think government's the right answer, but I think local cooperation with businesses is, and private partnerships is. And I think that we have great businesses in this community that would love to help a lot of these programs. So I love to get with you after this, get with Mike, and see if there is something that we can do creatively with our local businesses to be able to help, because it is something that we do need to spend this $100,000 and get it going. But I also think that there is more to be had and more people to be able to help, because it's an issue across our region, across the state. But here I know it's the city of Spirit, but in Bradley County, we need to help where help can be helped.
Thank you for that. I welcome and look forward to the opportunity to sit down with you. And I agree with you. You're absolutely right. Business partners, partners from the faith community. We have over 30 churches that partner with our shelter, come in every evening, at least one day a month, and not only feed our clients, but also pour into our clients. So I look forward to sitting down to continue that conversation with you.
Is there anyone else? Back to Commissioner Blake.
Just real quick, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Thompson brought up on page 100, if you look at your budget, I think it's worth mentioning that this commission, I think, can stand tall. You can always do more, but we appropriated the ARP money about $1 million, I believe, right, Mayor? And to date, if I'm looking at the amended totals, $747,000 has been appropriated, and we have a little bit more to go. So, Commissioner Thompson, you and I and the rest of the commission, I think we stood tall and allocated $1 million between Family Promise, Ocoee Outreach, United Way, Habitat, Caring Place, City Fields, and Bradley Cleveland. There's always room to do more. I get it, but this Bradley County Commission, I think, did the right thing, and we did it right from the very beginning. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Well presented.
Thank you. I appreciate all of you.
All right.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Are you through?
No, I was ahead of you on item C. Sorry. So anxious to.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Next is the Ocoee Outreach. You'll recognize her, but just so you know, I was looking at theirs just here. Ocoee Outreach, we appropriated $25,000. According to this, 4,621 has been appropriated, and so they have 20,379 to go.
Yeah, thank you for. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for the opportunity to just come and kind of give an update. We're thankful for your trust in us to utilize these funds to directly affect the lives of citizens of Bradley County, and we feel really confident in doing that. Ocoee Outreach, we use volunteers from literally all over the southeast of the country, primarily in the months of June and July, to complete home repair projects. And so that means a good amount of our funding is going directly to supplies, materials, and as we all know, it was mentioned earlier, everything has just shot through the roof the last even 2 years. And so, as we have looked at our budgets and those kinds of things, our construction budget for this year is $105,000. And so when we look at a gift of $25,000, that is a huge, huge, huge gift to us as an organization. And so just to kind of give you a little bit of what we've done so far, and even just completed some projects as our first week wrapped up for summer just last week. We've got some things that we even completed just on Thursday. And so with an average cost of about $2,500 per project, and that's the best average I can give you because we tear into some and it gets really expensive, and then some ends up being pretty cost efficient. So far we have done one roof removal and complete replacement. We have done 2 wheelchair ramps for senior citizens here, and then 2 homes have been repaired with siding, windows, paint. A lot of times when we tear into trim and that kind of stuff, we are having to replace those things and repair those items to keep moisture from coming in the house, to make sure, again, that we are giving people safe housing to live in. And that's part of our mission statement. And so that's where we're at so far. So the rest of the summer, by the fall, we will have completed 2 more roof replacements, one of those being a metal roof for a gentleman here. And that's just more of a niche job, so we had to make sure that we had the correct team to put that together, and we do, and we're grateful for that. We have 2 more paint and exterior repairs scheduled, and then also 2 more wheelchair ramps that will be completed by the fall. And so I just want to tell you how the funds are helping us long term. It is our goal to expand into more of a year-round service and resource for people. Again, right now we are primarily in the months of June and July, but with this funding, we can look at what it's like to incorporate more churches here in Cleveland, more local people to involve year-round, and become a resource that is available for people, not just in the months of June and July, because that's the worst phone call I have to take is when somebody is in need and we have to say we don't have anybody to meet that need until June. And when that's a phone call in November, that's a hard thing for people to understand, and it's a hard thing for us to say. And so these funds, again, have allowed us, we're going to expand this fall, do some things not during summer months, and look at what that looks like for us to be a year-round resource. And so thank you again for the funds, for allowing us the opportunity to see what it looks like to be more expansive in our reach of what we can do for citizens of Bradley County.
Let me make a comment. You've used approximately 5 of the 25 that we appropriated. It's not directed at you personally, but this is for the people in need, and it does no one any good to sit in a checking account or a bank account. I just ask that you move along with this if you can.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you. Anyone else? No one? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Is that it, Commissioner Blake? All right, we'll go now to agenda item D. That would be Commissioner Mike Hughes.
Mr. Chairman, this is a resolution to rezone from I-1 General Industrial District to R1 Rural Residential District property known as lots 6, 7, and 8 of the Josephine M. Gilbert Estate, and located on the corner of Old Chattanooga Pike Southwest, Leadmine Valley Road Southwest, adjoining the railroad on the west side, and adjoining a parcel known as Lot 5 map and parcel 065,057.04 to the south. See on pages 4 and 5. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to add this to the agenda.
Is that it?
Just for further reference, this did pass unanimously through planning.
Thank you very much. We'll go now. First of all, I'd like to recognize Mike Griffin from the Chamber of Commerce. He slipped in on me here. I didn't catch him. We'll now go to communication from the audience. Is there anyone that would like to speak to the audience? I don't see anyone standing. We'll now go to announcements. Voting session Tuesday, June the 20th at 12 p.m. here at the courthouse. Upcoming events, Junior Master Gardener graduation this afternoon, 5 p.m. at the Juvenile Center. Friday Festival, June the 16th, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. First Street Square. County office is closed June the 19th for the June 10th, the holiday. I hope I got that correct. Main Street Cleveland meeting, June the 20th, 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Craig Miles Hall.